Okay, so I know Ryan and his family, they sponsor. I would believe that you are Bigger Pockets' biggest sponsor.
I think we might be, yeah.
Okay, and how many landlords are on your guys' platform right now?
Landlords and tenants is over 300,000 now.
Wow. So like basically everybody on the line.
We still have a little ways to go, but over 35 billion assets are managed already by you today.
Damn, man.
Well, what is something that you could convey to people that are about to step into owning real estate? What are the most common things you wish you could shake knuckleheads loose and believe it?
I would have to say that laying the foundation for having systems that allow you to scale stress-free, whether you're at 1 unit or 100 or 1,000, I can't emphasize that enough. I feel like I've gotten to experience that myself in growing RentRedi and going from a period where I was literally writing out code and answering every chat to today when we're 70 people. And even myself, I had to build systems that allowed us to scale. And I think that is one of the things is if I can help people understand that if you lay that foundation before you need it, it will pay itself back. You did it.
We love a good founder story. On this exact stage about 2 months ago, we always break. Give me some more juice. Why are you guys taking my Monster Energy out of my microphone? You guys don't like?
We don't want you to distort in the Zoom.
We don't care what the Zoom people think. We want the vibe in here. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody in the side chat. We got 550 people in there. We love you guys. Okay, we love a good origin story. A couple months ago, we had the CEO of Blockbuster on the stage.
Really?
Oh yeah. And he told us all the good things, what actually happened with Blockbuster. You guys think Netflix came along and gobbled them up. Good lesson. Okay, I want to get into your origin stories. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, but I'm looking for a story like this where you've been kicked in the teeth, you've done something wrong, and you wish you could go back and fix it. For a lot of these founders in here, they're going to go found some big real estate portfolio companies. So this gentleman from Blockbuster comes in. He was also the CEO of 7-Eleven, so he was like super gangster dude, really smart. And they were working on streaming technology with Google well before Netflix was on the page. The problem is he became the CEO after a big private equity company came in and bought Blockbuster, stripped out all the equity, and basically left the company with a ton of debt at an 18% interest rate. This is what private equity does. Do you guys know what Sprinkles Cupcakes is?
Yes.
How many of you guys know they just shut down? They're gone everywhere. The founder of Sprinkles just went on Instagram, was like, this is what happens when you sell to private equity. They basically strip the soul out of a company and they leave the new person around to deal with it. So this CEO is sitting here dealing with this. And he's like, I need a loan to solve this problem. And he goes, I was on the cusp of solving this. And the whole industry knew I was up against a wall. But we had already built our streaming service with Google. We had all these agreements in place, but I had to restructure this debt in order for this whole thing work. So he's at a party. This is 2 years into this fight. He's like 4 inches from freaking triumph. Netflix had just left his office saying, buy us for $50 million. They say no. Why would you say yes when you are literally about to have the same technology that Netflix has, but better with Google? So Google was going to be the Netflix way back when. So he's there. They had just left the office. He says, no, we can't afford you right now. We're in the middle of restructuring our debt. Good luck, whatever. What you guys hear out in the regular world is that Netflix was turned down and they came and gobbled up Blockbuster. That's what we all understood.
Right.
The belief system was that Blockbuster screwed up and didn't buy Netflix. The reality is internally, they had really good things going on. They just needed a new loan. Okay. So the CEO goes to Warren Buffett's party. I mean, think about this. You're the CEO, ex-CEO of 7-Eleven, CEO currently of Blockbuster. You're being invited to like the White House. And he's basically, kind of walking around, moping. He goes up to the punch bowl, and Warren Buffett walks up to him. And Warren Buffett says, hey, how's everything going? And the first thing out of his mouth was, you wouldn't believe how hard this is. It's, it's this, that, and the other, and this person did this to me, and then this thing, and the private equity did this, and, I'm just up against the wall, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Warren says, man, I came over here to give you a loan.
Oh.
Maybe next time, start off a little bit less victim mindset. Have a good night, walks away, Blockbuster goes bankrupt a year later. Warren Buffett came up to say, let me restructure all of your debt, be part of this transaction. And because he opened up his mind with victim mentality. Okay, so now here's my question.
I'm feeling lonely recover. No pressure.
So now you know what we're looking for.
No victim mentality. I think I can handle that.
Walk us through. I don't need that moment right now, but I'm wondering, where does somebody come up? I mean, bro, you have 300,000 landlords and tenants on your platform. You have 70 employees, 70 families are relying on your hard work. And I know, Jamil and I know, we have hundreds of team members in our companies. We stress out at night, back pain, everything you can imagine, loss of hair, gray hair in our beards. And I'm like, where did that come from? And it's just unseen risk, unseen work and sacrifice that nobody will see. When you say this, you go 300,000 tenants and landlords, 70 employees. It makes it sound easy. So my question to you is, one, why did you start RentRedi? Where was that napkin in a bar type of idea? Where did that come from? And then number two, were there any moments along the way where you wanted to quit?
Yeah, happy to. Yes, but I'll explain more. So the reason I started it was I was going to school. I was in college. I double majored in economics and math. I minored in computer science. I got my first internship, and for the first moment, it felt like, wow, I'm going to move out of dorms. I'm going to go get my first apartment. This is going to be incredible, right? I was going to school in the financial district of New York City. I had never even been to New York City before I had started going to school there. And I was going to get to work at Goldman Sachs, of all places. I didn't even know what it was 6 months before I got the interview for it. And I found this great apartment. I was going to get to walk to school. I'd walk to work. I thought it would be great. And I showed up. I had 2 roommates. 3 of us had guarantors who were students. And they said, we need letter of employment, bank statements, cash returns, student transcript, W-2. I didn't know how to pull any of that stuff. I did not get that apartment. I didn't get the next 3 or 4 that we applied to. And I ended up living like 45 minutes from both school and work for the rest of that year and that summer. And so I came out of that feeling like I was really, really bad at renting and that I just needed to get better at it. And it was my first time, so it makes sense.
I've never heard someone have that goal. That's a new one for me. That's great.
That's how I felt, though. I really did. And I started going to work, and I started talking to people that had been working at Goldman Sachs, and they were, 10, 15 years into living in New York and renting there and knowing how it was. And they're like, it doesn't get any easier. It's not just you. And so I thought at first I just needed to build something. And I was like, I'm in computer science. I can learn how to program an app. So I started building an app for myself and friends to apply to apartments more easily, thinking it was just the application process and that landlords were perfectly happy. And actually, the initial version of RentRedi intentionally changed nothing on the landlord side, on the investor side, because I assumed, incorrectly, that every investor was happy with exactly the way they were, especially self-managing these rentals, that they were just pleased with how it was, and it was only the tenant side. And it wasn't until I started bringing it to some of those individual investors and those independent landlords, they started saying, you couldn't have it more wrong. Our side is way worse than your side. It's not just applications. It's my check is in the mail excuse. It's my tenant calling me in the middle of the night for maintenance. When they could throw a bowl under it and me not being able to tell whether this is flooding my kitchen floor and I need to get out of bed and go fix this, or they'll throw a bowl under it and I'll come tomorrow. Whether I'm screening the right tenants to make sure I'm not going through eviction proceedings, or being able to market my unit to make sure I don't have this staying vacant for too long. And so it became really naturally this transition of falling in love with building a platform that actually helped this individual that had taken their life savings and poured that into a property, and that was their way to put a kid through college one day or retire early. And those people exist on our team, like actual people on our team who have lived these experiences of like parents selling a property to put them through college, or that's their retirement fund, or whatever it might be. And it's been so fun to get to build that and see it evolve into what it is today, which is couldn't be further from what it started as in terms of being truly this all-in-one ecosystem where you can do everything end-to-end and managing it. And to your point about whether you set out to build something because of like a financial outcome versus when you start out trying to just solve a pain point, we really didn't focus on like, could we just be like the financial app for people, or could we just be the application app for people? It really was built on these individual stories of people having problems and saying, well, what would you want it to do? How would you want these systems to be set up? And then just making that for them.
So it started with the tenant in mind.
It did. It
and
really
then it
did.
evolved into the other side of the equation. And now is it both?
It's both. It is. I think it's one of the most important things because, you know, when you have a portfolio that's 1, 2, 10, 20, 50, 100 units, your tenant's telling you, I love using this. It makes my life better. Or I hate using this, makes a meaningful difference. You know, if your tenants come back to you and say, thank you for improving my credit score. I want to stay here because you're reporting my rent and I'm getting to build my credit as I grow, or other things like that.
We have to talk about that
Way
later.
better.
That's such a good
We
point.
will. We will. Absolutely.
Do you notice my microphone's louder than everybody else?
Yes.
Is that manipulation? I don't know.
No, you just know how to talk into a mic.
That's right. Okay, so you're building this on your own.
Yes, and that is your kick in the teeth question that you asked.
Not really.
Yeah,
I'm
you can
I'm
answer
thinking like you
that as well.
You and your family ended up going and hiring 70 employees.
Not initially, yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, you doing it on your own, that's one level of getting kicked in the teeth. Of course. What I'm asking
Yeah.
is, as you've gotten into 1 employee, 2 employees, 3 employees, were there moments where you're like, how do we get this out to the world and how do I keep this going? Or should I go pivot this? Were there any point in this multi-year transformation where you thought, maybe we shouldn't do this?
Yeah, so when I first started building it,
And what year was that?
I started it as it was like a passion project for me. But in 2016, I was working at PwC. I was going into work at 7, 8 a.m. I was getting home at 10. I was working on RentRedi from 10 to 3, 4 a.m. every night. I was living in a studio with my sister in Chelsea. Eventually, she said, I'm so sorry, I love you, but you gotta work somewhere else than this. I gotta sleep right here and go to work in the morning too. So I literally would go out to our stairwell and work in the stairwell. Unfortunately, the only photo anybody ever wants to like use, they're like, do you have any photos from the early days? I'm like, unfortunately,
Yes,
I have
me.
one.
I took a photo of
Sitting-
myself. Did you?
My sister came out into the stairwell and took a photo
You
of me
got
like,
one?
sitting in the stairwell programming RentRedi alone. And so I ended up leaving that job.
Is that you right there?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the one. Yeah, I picked up that Minion pinata from Pace because someone was throwing it out, and I was like, that seems fun to hang around with. So I got my cup of fruit,
And
my
he says
computer.
from Pace because he went to Pace University.
I did
by
go to
the way.
Pace University, so it's very full circle to be here.
I was like, I didn't give that to you.
Yeah, no, sorry. I have to clarify here. I went to Pace University. So I was learning Pace ways before meeting Pace Morby.
So you're in the stairwell, you're building this because you're excited about it.
Yeah.
You see a solution to
Yes.
the problem. Very similar to what we do in the marketplace is we find tired landlords that are retiring and we find their pain and we develop a solution for them, right? Which is what you did. What was your first moment of profitability?
See, I quit that job, right? And I proceed to have no customers, Pace, 0 customers for like 2 years. So you talk about like questioning whether you're going to quit. Every day, programming.
How did you survive?
Programming every day. I'm like habitually, I'm very much a saver. Like at heart, I'd save all of my money. Only recently, my sisters told me, "Hey, by the way, like we wanted ice cream. We kind of like dip in sometimes and like take some money and go get ice cream when we were kids. 'Cause, like, you're just saving your money, and for what?
They were stealing your ice cream money?
They're great sisters, but it was good. It's a funny story. They didn't tell me till they were like 30-something years old, but I was saving my money for so long, and I didn't know for what. And RentRedi was the first time where I was like, if I spend every last dollar I have to make this work, it will be worth it to me. It felt like it was finally something that I would really be proud that I poured everything I had saved my money for. And so largely.
Do you think there's a lesson in that right there? Talk about being obsessive on the thing that you want, right? Most people can't stand a diet for 2 days, let alone one day. This guy's got no customers on a business for 2 straight years.
Yeah.
I'm a lunatic, bro. I would have given up at 3 months.
Yeah.
And I would have just taken it as like, man, I really fought through.
Yeah.
I went longer than anybody else would have ever gone. That was a marathon.
Yep.
And you went 2 freaking years without a customer.
Yep. So I went from living with my sister to a friend's basement in Hollis, Queens, to moving back home with my parents for a year, and then eventually got some customers that
Was
really
anybody
started
in your
to
family
resonate.
asking you along the way, hey, Ryan?
No.
What are you doing?
I have to say, I called my parents the day I was quitting my job. I'm like, hey, I'm leaving this Wall Street job. I'm going to work on this app. I swear it's going to work. It's just going to, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to work. And they were like celebrating. They were cheersing. We were like, yeah, I feel like we talk about like support. I think it goes a long way for someone to say, we believe you can do this, right? So.
I believe you can do this. All of you. By the way, your dad is super sweet guy.
Yeah, I eventually called him up and said, hey, you've spent my whole life like sales and marketing, starting your own businesses. Would you come do this with me? And so he did. And so we work on it still to this day. He's my co-founder in this, and it's been a dream, honestly. You get to build it from what was, when you called RentRedi the first 3 years of the business, it rang directly to our cell phones. Every chat went directly to me and him. And so it's been fun to see the team grow, but like there's no job at RentRedi that he or I have not either both or one of us done along the way.
What a special thing, dude. And plus you get to like dig in the trenches with your dad, which is a very cool thing. Yeah. Okay, so profitability. Was there a year where you're like, wow, we can afford pizza?
So the first 3 or so years of the business, we were totally bootstrapped. It was just like off savings and a prayer of staying alive. And then we raised what I refer to as like a quasi friends and family round. It's basically landlords at meetups that I was going to. Like meetup.com I feel like used to have a lot of meetups. I would just go to these meetups and be like, you're a landlord? Well, no, but I'm making something for landlords. And eventually some of those landlords said to me, hey, are you raising money? I was like, yeah. We're raising money. So they became our first investors.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
They became our first investors. And then maybe like a year after that, then we raised our first venture round in 2019 from this group called TI Ventures that super, super customer focused, which was important to me. Like they really cared about like talking to the individual people. I think that was really our first time where we were like, okay, we can get an office and like have pizza for people.
So you have all sorts of different landlords on here.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy things that have happened to me recently on being a landlord. Good thing is I have a buffer. Okay. We bought an RV park a couple weeks ago. We had to evict a monkey on day 2. Like a literal monkey. I've never had that before. Apparently, it was a monkey living in the park for like years, and it was in somebody's trailer. And finally, we bought it. The manager's like, "You got to get that monkey out. He's constantly stealing people's food off their porches and so."
And now that monkey lives in Japan with an orange orangutan.
Yes. That made me cry the other day, dude. And then a couple of days later, we found a dead body at the RV park. So being a landlord's not easy. Do you have other asset types besides single family? Can you manage all sorts of different things?
Yeah. So it intentionally we built it pretty flexible, and it's been kind of fun to see the unusual applications that people will.
Well, tell us about some. Like what would you say would be the weirdest thing that somebody rents out on your platform?
Oh God. Some of the more surprising definitely like the mobile homes that you talked about, co-living, things like that. But we have people that will rent like hair salon chairs. My co-founder was getting his hair cut the other day, and he's wearing a RentRedi shirt. And the guy cutting his hair was like, "Hey, RentRedi, I use RentRedi." And he's like, "Oh, you own rentals?" And he's like, "No, I own this studio, and each chair is a unit that I rent out as a unit on RentRedi. And if something breaks in my hair salon, and somebody takes a video of it and submits it on the maintenance, and I get it fixed, and they pay me their rent for their chairs up through RentRedi. And so, like, I use RentRedi to manage this studio. We've had people do the same thing with, like, parking lot spots for, like, truckers, like semi-trucks, where they'll rent the spots to truckers. We have, like, a winery that is on the platform that it's renting it out. It's almost like we have the concept of units, which can be single family or multifamily. They could be like it primarily we designed it initially for residential single multifamily, but like you can really treat almost anything as a unit. And so people are doing that with like things like hair salons, parking garages, anything they can think of.
Okay, so you mentioned co-living.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the co-living space, there's a property management. I wouldn't say they're a full property management company, but you know them, Pat Split. Mm-hmm. They're only in like 45 markets, really. Mm-hmm. And so you get a lot of people trying to jump into co-living. They go, I want to do co-living. I want to do Section 8. I want to do rent to nonprofits. But I don't really have a platform like Pat Split. So what a lot of people will do is they'll go, I guess that Pat Split's not for me. Co-living's not for me because Pat Split's not here. Because we've done a good job of branding Pat Split in our community. Atticus, the founder, much like you, has a great story. Are there people on your platform self-managing co-living and nonprofit tenants all over the country?
Yes. Yeah, there are. Some where they're, house hacking and they live in the place themselves. Others where they're just renting by rooms. And even on the Section 8 side. Oh, no.
Well, no, Pat Split's doing a lot of marketing, right? So they send out, they place ads in Zillow, they place ads in Craigslist, they place ads in Facebook Marketplace, and it's aggregating all of these different opportunities and applications and funneling them into their platform. So then whoever's looking at it from the other side, on the landlord side, can sift through and make a decision.
Right.
And so it offers that marketing aspect. Who here is like a little bit wondering, like, what can RentRedi do? Is anybody wondering, like, well, what are the... Yeah, so help us understand, like, does RentRedi help with marketing? If anybody here has a co-living home and they're like, maybe Pat Split's not in my market, could I come to RentRedi and market through that?
Yeah, so essentially RentRedi serves as basically the operating system for you all the way across the entire leasing cycle. So that is listing it out, syndicating out to different listing services, and we'll syndicate out to some for you, like Trulia, Zillow, HotPads, Realtor.com, Craigslist.
Can we add as well to that? Like, for instance, if I wanted to have you populate to 5 other websites, could RentRedi do that through customizing on my own?
So we can populate to all of those directly for you, and we also spin up a listing page for yourself. And we'll even let you have like a website if you want to, if you have like multiple units and you want to be able to have your own landing page. You can still publish, like you can still go out to one of those other sites and say, I want to post it here and I want it to all funnel into RentRedi. And so we basically it's essentially like a link that you could put on any site. You could put it on Facebook Marketplace. You could put it on a QR code in your front yard, however you want to do it. That allows all of those pre-qualifications and applications to come into the RentRedi system. We'll screen all of those tenants. We'll do all of the asset and income verification when they apply. You'll be able to sign them into the unit as your tenant, set up all of your rent collection. You'll collect it all through the platform, and we'll deposit out to the appropriate bank accounts.
Why isn't everybody doing this? Like, why would I hire a property management company?
Number one question I get every day is, how do I get everything done? I have 9 companies, 600 employees. We have customers all over the globe. We're doing fix and flips. We're doing buy and holds, apartments, RV parks, all of those things. Everybody wonders, how did I scale? How did I get to a higher level? And the answer is that, go high level. I use a CRM that allows all of my customers to come into one database. And instead of me hiring more employees to go and do all the follow-up, Go High Level has systems and automations that does all of that for me. So not only can I have my employees focus on higher end tasks, money-making tasks, Go High Level avoids all of the extra payroll. When you're brand new, having Go High Level is like having 5 different employees doing all the work for you just for a monthly fee. Go to gohighlevel.com/pace to learn how I'm using it, not only in my lending business, but my wholesale business, my fix and flip business. Literally, Go High Level controls the entire back end of all 9 of my companies. Go to gohighlevel.com/pace to learn more.
That I don't have the answer for.
I mean, for me, convince me. I have 200 single family homes.
Right.
I've got 15 RV parks, 10 mobile home parks.
10
large multifamily assets.
Right.
And a couple of other weird things.
Right.
Why would I not? Why would I freaking use you? Why would I use them over you?
There's no reason not to. Realistically, anything that you're doing there today, you can do. You can automate all of the same things on RentRedi today and more, and even to the point now with $35 billion in assets under management, we're able to actually see trends of especially individual landlords and be able to funnel that back in ways that actually provide them with ways to be more successful. So there's really no reason you shouldn't. And like the cost difference of what you're doing, the average landlord on our platform, it's a fixed price. You like fixed pay $12 a month. So they're the average landlord on our platform. The average landlord on our platform is
Ryan,
0.18%.
don't lie to us, bro.
0.18%.
What the freak?
That's per property.
No, not per property. Total.
This is why you couldn't afford anything for 3 years, bro. $12?
Yes.
Has anybody ever seen that movie with John Cusack? He says, "I want my $2." That kid that he's gonna do. Better off dead. First time I ever kissed a girl. Just
$12
$12
per customer.
Yes.
I can have, let's just say, for instance, I've got 50 co-living homes.
Yep.
Each of them have 6 units in them. $12.
$12.
Oh my word.
Let's all stand up and just leave right now. This is ridiculous. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh. How are you not charging more money? Walk me through. Are you just you attract the stingiest clients on the planet?
So it came from, again, having these conversations with people and saying, like, why are you not using something? In the early days, like, I used to go to, like, these meetups, like, Property Owners Association New Jersey, I used to travel out to and just, like, have discussions with landlords there, like, why are you using spreadsheets? And it was one of two things. Either it was, there's these massive enterprise platforms that are built for people with, hundreds or thousands, tens of thousands of units, that if I'm under 50 units, they won't even call me back. They're not even going to talk to me. Or even if I do, I'm paying an arm and a leg for it. And then there's the other people that are saying, I'm using spreadsheets and it's a fixed cost. And so I like it. I pay for my spreadsheet. It's a fixed cost and it works for me. And so we came away from that going, could we make a world where it feels like spreadsheets? It's a fixed cost. Like you pay for it and you don't. What they kept saying to me was, I don't want to be taxed for my growth. And so it's like, could we set something up where you don't feel like you're taxed for your growth? And we were able to accomplish that. And so the way that we're able to do it is because today I don't negotiate as someone that has 1 or 10 or 10,000 or even 100,000 units. We're able to negotiate as one massive portfolio. And today, if we were like a REIT, we'd be one of the biggest REITs in the country. And so that gives us a lot of power in terms of the community together, everybody on the platform being able to turn around to other platforms like TransUnion and payment processors and others and say, hey, you're going to charge a tenant $50 for a screening anyway. Why don't you discount in the process? We'll charge a tenant less on RentRedi than they would going directly to TransUnion, and we'll still make money in the process. And we'll do the same thing on payments. So like that $1 ACH you're going to charge the tenant anyway, negotiate less, we'll make money on the spread, and so we never have to charge the landlord more in the end. And so we've been able to basically repeat that on basically everything. So you don't have to pay more in rent and wages.
$12.
Yeah. Economies of scale. It's like taking what a very, very large company would have.
What do you guys think I spend in property management every month? I mean, I'm probably, I get a good deal. Oh my gosh. I'm probably 7%, 6% on my management side. And when you look at, let's do the math. I might be firing some people right after this conversation.
So while he's doing that, let's help me understand where does the disconnect happen on the human element, right? Because there's obviously things that you can't do that another property management company might, right?
Yes.
Like, for instance, are you involved in deploying a handyman? Or if Susie's eating Patricia's macaroni, how does that get solved?
Yeah. So the way that we've structured RentRedi is to make it as easy as possible for anybody to run rentals themselves. And so our job is to automate as much of that process as possible. So certain things are set in for that you'll never do again. Things like setting up your rent reminders, which we've been able to see. I talked about like the data side of things and being able to see the difference. If you don't remind your tenants to pay rent, they are 27% less likely to pay rent. Just a reminder, just texting them to say it's due. And so we are able to fully customizably set all of that communication up for something like that on RentRedi and say, we're going to remind this tenant who always forgets 5 days early and like every day leading up to. And this other tenant who's like almost never late, we won't remind them until the day it's due, and it'll remind them once they're actually late. And we can completely automate those things. The same thing is true from the lease side. If you say, hey, I want this tenant in this lease to just renew it 2% a year, 3% a year, 5% a year, whatever you want, we can just automatically have it renew at that amount every year. And as that tenant stays in that unit, they're happy, they're good, you're not doing anything. On the maintenance side, what I consider like 3 different flavors of it, where there's the group that says, I just want to do the maintenance myself. I don't want somebody else to do it. And you can totally do that. The tenants will submit videos of their maintenance through the platform. Like that was the example of the hair salon person. And they'll actually fix it, mark it complete. There's the group that says, I have people I like, and I want them to do the maintenance. And so you can basically add them into the platform. They automatically get notified. They go, they fix it, they update it. It all updates in your dashboard.
That's an upsell, right?
No, that you can add teammates. So you can add the teammates.
What is the guess of what I spend in property management every single month? Anybody got a guess? It's not as bad as you think. It's only 50,000.
Only 50,000. Hey, bro, I can get it for you for $12. I know a guy.
It's interesting. There are some components. So, like me as a demographic specifically, I know it's not the same as everybody. There are some people in my owners club that have as many rentals as I, but I would take that 50 grand. Like I'm going to go to my operator who runs my business
and send them this podcast.
Basically.
Say nothing. And just say nothing.
Okay, please watch this in 2x speed and let me know what you think afterwards. Yeah. If I have $50,000 in costs roughly, I could hire a full-time dedicated person, like a really good person.
People do it.
And then I would probably save $35,000 a month.
Right, exactly. You can still have somebody in there, at your scale, having somebody in there doing that, and then you still get the oversight. Like,
Right.
You don't have to do all of the work. And then there's a third flavor too. If you don't like on the maintenance side you're asking about.
What's the mint chocolate chip flavor?
Yeah. If you don't have the maintenance people, you're like, I don't want to do it myself. I don't have somebody. That was where like people, again, it's based in problems people came to us with. So I don't want to do it myself. I don't know somebody that I want to do it. Can you just find a person for me? And so we were able to set up a partnership with this group that predominantly only worked with institutional, very, very, very large investors. They do 3 million work orders a year, where they will actually do the triage from their network, triage with the tenant, decides that actually your responsibility or not, dispatch the vendor, have them complete the work. And what they do is similar to us. They will pre-negotiate with them because they have such scale of how many work orders they get done, so that even though they're charging, say, like a 10% fee on what that maintenance person is doing, they're able to negotiate them down on price enough that a lot of the time you don't really pay anything different than if you were to have just negotiated that yourself as a relatively smaller investor than the size that they are.
I want to leave right now. I want to leave.
Hold on a second. That's an upsell, right?
No, well, you have like the percentage fee that they'll charge on it, but a lot of the time it comes out to the same. No, you can just enable it.
But it's still $12.
Yes.
Wow. Like how many people are you guys are putting property managers out of business?
Property managers could use it too. Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't they? It's $12.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about this, I bet you what's a typical property manager, what software are they using? What's the industry standard?
Probably like Appfolio or Yardi.
Okay, and what are they paying for that?
Oh God,
Thousands.
Like thousands.
Thousands a month. Like all these seats they have.
Yeah.
They could replace all of that with just you for $12.
Yeah.
Dude, you're changing the game.
Yeah.
Like, what a cool thing. You got to move to New York.
Well,
No, we're remote. We're remote.
what's next? What's next there? Because I mean, you've got 300,000 users now, and so 300,000 times $12
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it goes far. So
does.
like, what's the next iteration? What are you guys wanting to evolve into?
Would you end up doing an
Yeah.
exit? You have a private equity company came in and give you this a venture fund gave you some money.
They
want
come
to
and give
exit?
you $13.
Exactly.
Is the plan to exit, double, triple? What are we thinking?
I mean, right, for all I think about every day is just like grow it more and solve more problems, and I have fun with that. So
Okay, so when you guys ever hear the phrase "bet on the jockey, not the horse," do you guys understand what we're talking about? Yeah. So when people are like, "How do I determine who to invest my money in?"
RentRedi.
Yes. Bro, it's like I spent $12 at Starbucks this morning, and I thought that's not bad. You're running an entire.
He didn't even get coffee.
I got
You got a cup of ice and a sandwich.
Wow. Okay, so what are some developments in your pipeline that you're adding, new features?
yeah. So some of it that we've been really excited about has been that we hadn't done as much on the expense side, accounting side in the past. We've only done that since you and I were at BPCon together. We did not have this when I was at BPCon. So we've since then released the ability where you can either just come in and upload every receipt. You've 200 receipts, just drop them in. And we will automatically, using AI, will extract all of the details of it, book it to the date, the amount, the Schedule E category for your taxes. And so what you're basically getting is like P&L by property broken down without the complexity of like traditional accounting. Where
How can our people get that for free? Like, how can we get that?
we can set that up. I'll send you.
Does anybody want that for free? I'm giving away. This guy ain't got no money, and I'm giving it away for free. Like I swear he's running a nonprofit. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
What's the best place for people to sign up for RentRedi?
RentRedi.com, RentRedi. We're a startup, so we spell things wrong. But
No,
yeah,
you
RentRedi.com.
rebranded RentRedi to the way you can afford the domains. We've done the same thing. We have domains we own that we had to.
I mean, I made up a whole word for mine. What was it? What the hell was it? Keegly.
Yeah, 100%. Or deal sauce.
Yeah.
All the things.
All of them.
Okay, rentredi.com. If I want, is there anything that we can give to people for free since you're just giving things away?
Yeah. How about this? I'll send you a link after the show so you can send it out to the people that are on or are here. And I think because this mainly you were telling me in the other room is mainly focused on Section 8 and things like that today, right?
Yeah, this week has been Section 8 and like that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people in here. RV parks, mobile home park, like literally every asset type. Everybody in the side chat, 500 plus people. What are you guys focusing on the side chat so Ryan can see? Tell us in the side chat.
RV parks.
A lot of co-living. You're gonna see tons of
let's do this.
I want to get into his thing, and I want to like what I should probably do is you and I get on to RentRedi and go and figure out how we can make this work for co-living, and give that to the community so that they have a template.
Love it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a template.
Do you have anybody running like a broth or anything out of the RentRedi?
Not that they're telling me.
Okay, I mean you got freaking barbers, you got all sorts of stuff.
God, you got a pimp with 5 hoes. He's like, yeah, $12. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Take that part out of the
this guy's
podcast.
college graduate.
That's not going on YouTube.
That's going on YouTube. Put it on YouTube. We don't care what people think about us. They can think whatever they want. Ryan didn't say it. We said it. Okay, so rentredi.com. You've got accounting stuff that's coming out. AI is making it a little bit easier. What I love is that you make it easier for the tenant to interface.
We do. Yeah, it's important to me. It's both sides. I think ultimately you end up with a much happier experience for if you make both sides happy. So one of the things that we did, which actually came out of COVID during eviction moratoriums where landlords were calling us and saying, hey, can you convince my tenants to keep paying rent during this period? We're like, I don't know, give us some time to think something up. And we talked to tenants who were asking basically the same thing. And so we started reporting rent to the credit bureaus if you pay your rent on time. And so what became largely like a transactional
But that's an upsell, right?
Normally it is. Normally the tenant would pay to report the rent to credit bureaus, or the landlord could offer to cover it, and they could decide by tenant too. So if you have like one tenant that you want to really encourage you to pay rent on time, you can say like, hey, I'm covering this for you.
But that all goes through the platform.
All goes through the platform. So they just pay their rent the normal way on the platform, and their biggest expense becomes their biggest way to build credit.
Too. Like imagine that. Imagine that. I have never had my, I've been a renter before. I've never had my rent reported to the credit bureau. But imagine if you are somebody who's, who faced foreclosure, you're renting for a few years, you're trying to rebuild your credit. I mean, this is right here. If you're a landlord and you're thinking, how do I make myself stand out in a sea of options, right? What about, hey, not only is my unit beautiful, but I'm also going to help you rebuild your credit by offering to report your.
Could you do
on-time
that
rent
through
payments.
co-living?
Yeah, we can.
What
do
the
everything.
freak?
That's great.
Dude.
Yeah, you all you would do is structure when you come into RentRedi, just set up each like room basically, right, as its own unit on the platform, and then once you have every room set up as its own unit on the platform,
Are you Tony Stark?
You could report.
Are you Tony Stark?
You just got married, right?
Guys, give it up. He just got married.
Wow. July, right?
Yes. Good memory.
Bro, she's a dance instructor. She also judges people.
She's a dancer. Yeah.
Wow. You're living, dude. Karma's coming back for you. I love it. Good stuff is happening to you.
And we met when I was still like living in a basement working on a house. I swear it's gonna work.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
I was like a month into leaving my job and starting RentRedi.
And you met her.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm about to quit my job, and she's
No,
like,
I
let's get married.
had already quit. She was like, what do you do? And I was like, I have a startup. I have an app. Sort of. We don't have customers yet, but it'll work.
You know what? I feel like his introduction here was really deserved.
Yes, 100%.
You're a rock star. You're shit.
We need to have him come into the community more often. Huh?
Happy to.
You know, it was really fun. You and your dad sent me a message for Bigger Pockets, and you guys, hey, you guys want to teach our class? You want to be part of us? We'll interview in our breakout room. I got a message. Okay, I got a message about that room. Well, here's what happened. Our room was so lit which is interesting. We had a little breakout room at Bigger Pockets.
Yeah, you were getting mobbed.
They were
I was worried for
leaving.
your
They
safety.
were leaving the other breakout rooms to come into our room, and Bigger Pockets sent me an email upset at me, saying, you're a rebel rouser. You're getting the blah blah blah, right? Whatever.
They were worried about the fire marshal. There were too many people in the room.
But here's an interesting message I got. It was a message about you, and they were like, you know what I took away from that interview? I was like, I'm emailing them back, and they go, you need to highlight him more. I was like, we're going to put him. And I texted you. I go, dude, you're so freaking cool. We got to get you on podcast. We got to introduce you all our homies. Jim Millie's going to put you in his challenges. We're going to put you in our challenges. Do you guys want to see more of this guy or what? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, what do we not know at this point about RentRedi? Like, what do you really want us to understand about RentRedi?
So I think, which is to your question about like what are the future things. One of the upcoming things is that we're starting to build more of like the health of your portfolio into the platform now, and so I like still call landlords to this day. Now I have to convince them that I'm not AI when I'm calling, but I do still call them and like ask about like what the problems they're having and what they want solved and things like that. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting talking to some landlords this past like fall and winter when I was calling them was them saying like, I wish I could just look at a property and for you to tell me, am I performing well, or should I like do a 1031 exchange on this, or should I sell this, or is the maintenance way too high, or should I do something different on that? And with the ability now where with the accounting side of things, like we'll connect to your bank account. Even if you don't want to do the receipt side, you could just connect your bank account. We'll suck it all in and categorize it all for you. But the beauty of that now is like you have all of your portfolio under one house. You have the maintenance, you have the communication, you have vacancy rates, you have your rent collection and your expenses and all of that. And it gives you the ability to, without like running a report or doing a bunch of work at year end, automatically be able to see into your portfolio in a single pane of glass, the same way I would want to look at how RentRedi is doing at any given time and know what do I need to do for us to improve. And landlords could do the same thing for their own portfolio. So I think that's one of the big things coming is them being able to see into their businesses.
Is this an upsell?
No, it's just.
I'm like, should I invest in RentRedi? But you won't charge anybody any more money. I don't know if I.
Is there a world where if a landlord is looking at the health of their property and it's not healthy, it's bleeding money, or it's got way too much deferred maintenance, it's just not doing the things that the other properties are. Is there a world where there's a button where it says sell your property?
There could be, yeah. There's not yet, but
here's how it works right now. So my team and I get together quarterly, and we go through all of our properties.
Yeah.
And the number one thing we look at is what's our return on the equity that's trapped in the property.
Yep.
If there's too much equity in the property, we need to either refinance because we like the area, we think it's a long-term asset, or we're manually having these conversations.
You get the ROI, cash on cash return, all of that just in the dashboard in real time.
And I would imagine that you're going to do like a gut check on the area, rising rent rates. You'll probably add some of these features as well. Yeah. So it's like, okay, yes, it might be expensive, but the area is growing really fast. So I'm going to give you a health score here, 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 and here. We don't have.
Not yet. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
I don't come up with
you
any ideas myself. People just tell me things and then I go do what they say.
I'll charge you $12 a month for ideas.
Yeah, I like
so I
it.
can get the same portfolio. So we manually do this, and so I sold 3 properties this week that our team manually went through. It cost me thousands of dollars in labor and intelligent minds to do that now, and then I'm still wondering like, man, but the interest rate I have on that property right now, we have a 1.9% SubTo deal that we bought in Hawaii on the ocean, and my team's like, we bought it in 2019, right before COVID. I think it shot up. I think we had like $400,000 in equity. My team's like, time to sell the deal. And I'm sitting there thinking, 1.9%, ocean property, Hawaii, has a duplex in the back. We're renting 3 different units. It's insane. Why would we ever sell this? And so I have to at some point trust the team. But the reality is what you would do is essentially dish all this data to my team for no freaking expense. $12 for $12. And then my team would be able to come to me and go, hey, here's the report. Or I could say, show me the actual data. Don't give me a gut check. Because right now, a lot of it's based on a gut check. And I'm probably gambling on hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that I should either keep or roll or refinance instead of sell. That alone is worth $100 a month.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
you'll spend less time building the report so you can spend more time analyzing it. Yeah.
Or buying more deals.
Exactly.
Or like if I have to do a 1031, I have to go find another property.
Right.
I don't want to be trapped in a meeting just deciding that. Like, dude, I'm switching over to RentRedi.
I love it.
That, my God. Does anybody have a question about RentRedi here? Damn, bro. You ever had 5 questions pop up in 1 second about RentRedi?
I like it. We'll go here. It's all first.
Okay. Who, Jason or who?
Third row.
Do you have a developer API available at all, or plan to?
We don't today. You know, you're only the second person ever to ask me this. There's one person that emailed me directly, maybe like 2018 or so. He actually came to BBCon. He's like, I don't know if you remember me, but I asked you if you would give me an open API. At one point, I was like, I absolutely do remember you. It's like, have you done it? I was like, unfortunately, the only person to ask me for this, so I haven't yet. But if there's demand for it, we'll do anything. You're number 2, so you're getting ranked. So if you want an open API, drop in the chat. Let me know. And We build based on
chat.
based on demand. So
And so when you say an open API, what does that mean in not nerd or?
So I would imagine what you're hoping to do with it is if he could get the data that's in RentRedi for, say, the maintenance request or something, he could then trigger some sort of other action like texting a tenant or something else
I can
off of
write
that.
code against whatever they're doing and extend it into what I need.
You can customize it even more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can
We
write
build
code
really
against it.
fast though, so if you ask me like
For features.
what you want, yeah, exactly.
that
We
might
actually
save you.
automatically categorize every we have live chat. We do over 200,000 chats a year. Every request that gets asked in chat does actually get recorded
It's a thing.
it actually does get recorded and then ranked for our team to build. So if there are features you want that you would do if you had that API, ask me or drop it into our chat. Just go to rentredi.com and ask in the chat, this is what I want. If we don't already do it, it'll bump it up the list.
I'm a property manager in Manhattan. And I manage
We're neighbors.
a bunch of brat townhouses because big managers don't want to do those little buildings because every building's got a super. Why not have one with 100? And almost everything's condo and co-op. And I just sold half of my business because I'm doing this because there are no apartments in New York. There are people walking around with thousands of vouchers have been looking for years. There are no apartments for those people to have vouchers. And people, I put something online for some ad to rent very quickly. And the first half hour, I had 50 people answer. And half of them, well, it went on for 3 days. I took down my ad. I rented to the first person who called, who had their paperwork together. And kind of worthwhile guy coming to New York from Texas to do research. And this is also my fault, but management of those kind of buildings, blood money,
What does that mean? Like you have to?
very hard work.
You're saying like the amount of work you put into
The
managing.
amount of
this,
work
yeah.
you do for the amount of money you make is really tough. And I have the best people, and I speak Spanish, and I have people, I call them, I pay them the day that they do the work. So
Our
when I
app is
call,
also in Spanish.
they come quickly, and it's really
We
very...
just localized our app.
Now, the other thing is, how come you didn't get your apartment when you applied? It could have been a
That
time
was
when
me.
all the brokers were charging big fees, and you were a no-fee guy.
Oh, I was too slow. Was why I didn't get
Too
the
slow,
apartment. That was the
actually,
question.
that's-
Yeah, I didn't get my documents together in time, so that's why I didn't get the apartment.
Now, you
That's what I
cannot
thought.
charge fees, and know that all of the rental brokers have gone into just selling because there's no business. So I want to do this. This is wonderful.
Way better.
So for the amount of energy that you spent managing those little buildings, you could make a lot of money.
I'm gonna white
Normal.
label you, bro, and I'm gonna charge you what you should be charging. All right, next question.
$12.99.
Sam, how fast can you run to the other side? Let's balance this out. We got 2 questions on this side. We need to balance. Anybody can guess what Sam's husband does for a living? I'll give you $10. I'll give you $12. Starts with an F.
Firefighter.
The next word is F-E.
Feed picks.
R-R. Is it F-A? Okay, F-A. A farrier.
Oh, he's he's a bird guy?
He shoes horses.
Oh, he shoots horses. He's a horse guy.
Yes. Has he ever been kicked?
Yeah, he got stepped on twice lost.
So he knows exactly what Ryan feels like as building the business.
You got to make it on his price.
Bro, I'm trying.
Slowly, I got to manipulate him. If he doesn't do it, I'm just I'm gonna white label him.
Open AI.
I'm gonna call it like RentRedier.com. 120. And I'll be like 10 times the service, 10 times the price.
Hey, as a landlord is onboarded into RentRedi, does the language stays the same as a tenant, or could it be as a member?
You're talking about for co-living?
Yeah, so one of the things we actually did just also since I saw you, we've been busy since BPCon, but one of the things we did was actually localize our app for Spanish. So if the tenant has the RentRedi app downloaded and their phone is in Spanish, it will convert the entire app into Spanish. So that.
Bro, how much is that upsell?
That's not an upsell.
That's not a question.
Okay, misunderstand. I'm sorry.
On the owner side.
How many pesos does that?
owner
I'm
side.
sorry. It's not
On
about
the
the
owner
language
side?
in Spanish or English. Is as you go to Passport, you become a member of a club. Not
Okay, this is a management thing. So Pat Split is really smart about the landlord-tenant laws. We don't like tenants, and so what they do is they set up a club in the house. I know you like it, Roy. But they set up a club in the house so it bypasses landlord-tenant law. So these people are not tenants; they are club members.
Yeah, the members.
So what happens is if they don't pay their club dues, they get kicked out of the club.
Without evictions.
And they've been challenged in court multiple times. They've never lost. And so, is there a way? I'm asking the right question, right? Even though it's non-Spanish, it's the right question. Is there a way we could set up the management structure to be that way, where it's a club inside of that? And if not, can I have an open API?
Third vote. I don't know. I'd have to get back to you. I don't know.
Here's what.
We allow you to set it up however you want. So if you want to be honest, I'm not sure.
I mean, it's basically paperwork, right?
Yeah.
So your individual landlords have their own tenant agreement. Is that correct?
Right. They have their own agreement.
You
We're
have
not
your own
structuring
templates.
any of that for them.
I imagine you have templates.
We allow you to upload anything. We don't create the templates.
Okay, cool. So essentially, you could emulate what PadSplit's doing. You could just go to ChatGPT or like Grok and be like, steal this document, but use it, make it different enough that somebody can't sue me.
And you want to make
I don't know
sure
if that works or not, but you
would
can try it.
What would have to happen on the platform side is that if there was any mention of tenancy and things of that nature, that would have to it would have to change so that there wasn't an implied tenancy because they saw it on the platform. And even though the document said membership agreement, if the platform said a tenancy agreement, click here, and then it became a membership agreement.
This is a massive market, just FYI. It is by far
it's
the number one growing single family strategy.
It would be worth your while to I'd be happy to help
Let's
you.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's talk.
Okay, so the answer is yes. Soon.
Soon.
Okay, Sam.
Discount. You want a discount?
He wants a discount?
Are you bro? That's the most Latino thing I've ever heard, dog. Trying to get a coupon on a coupon.
A Pace discount?
He says he'll give you a Pace discount. I don't know what that would give you, but all of you, everybody in here. But do you really? You don't do discounts.
Yes.
Here, you know what? Here's what our.
Too long. It's lights out here.
Bro, our community wants to pay $14, bro. We want you to grow. We want to support you.
I like it.
Can you give us a special discount code to $14, please?
I could do that. Yeah. If you wanna like contribute to what we're
Yes.
making
Are
for
you
others,
kidding me?
absolutely. I'll give you a 14.
I want to support my friends. I want to make sure they win at the biggest level.
I love it. Yeah.
My gosh. Was your question really to get me to get a discount?
No.
I freaking love it, by the way.
So, first of all, I have a really hard time believing something like that exists. So, good job.
Thank you.
But I have a quick question. Do you guys do Section 8? And if so, do I have to come to you with a tenant in it? Or what happens if you get an apartment or a house with a tenant and he leaves? Who's responsible to fill it? You or I have to do it?
Yeah. So if a tenant were to leave, it would still be your responsibility to fill them. We're basically providing the software that makes it easier for you to manage that. So there are people on RentRedi that manage Section 8. And one of the beauties of it is if you were to say, take a unit, you have a tenant in there in Section 8, and there's a portion of rent that they pay, and there's a portion of rent that the government pays, they can pay their portion directly within the app, and you can record the other portion when you receive it. So it still keeps it all in one place, even lets the tenant know when you've actually gotten all the funds. It keeps them up to date on everything. But yeah, you can do it.
But if you wanted to be more hands off, do you have people within the platform that you could pair him with that would say like, hey, we'll handle all of the meat potatoes of getting this filled for you, finding the tenant, getting that all set up. But it's going to be another $12.
So we don't do it as a service, but there are definitely property managers like on RentRedi that will basically do what you're talking about. So they'll use RentRedi, they'll add you as a teammate. So the permissions are fine-grained enough that you would only see your properties, and they could be managing for someone else in here, and they would only see their properties and so on. And so you'd basically get the benefits of like if you were running it yourself, but you now have a property manager where you're completely letting them manage everything for you. So you can do it that way.
So if you were to pair me with managements that actually fill the properties for me, how much would they charge for that? Oh no.
So we don't do the pairing on the management side, so it would be more along the lines of like if there was a property manager that you said, I want them to use RentRedi, and I want them to basically have me be a teammate, or vice versa. You want to subscribe to it, and then
you got to bring your manager to the table.
Bring your own
is
property
what he's saying.
manager. Yeah.
You bring your property manager to the table. They're the platform that helps keep it seamless and
Right.
communicates between you and the manager, the tenant and the manager, and lets you see it a broad strokes like what's going on. Yeah.
Dude, we need to have him like get a free booth at Squat Up Summit or something. Like, bro, if you guys could get to Squat Up Summit, I will give you a booth outside of this.
I will happily come.
Dude, if you could figure it. Is Sarabi here? Okay, Sarabi with me, but Mel, if you don't mind, let's try and get this guy set up with a booth at Squat Up Summit.
Yeah, make sure you charge him $12.
Bro, you did not miss with that one.
It's too good.
Bro, we're gonna have you hang out with us in our co-living challenges, our Section 8 challenges. We freaking do. We all like this guy or what? Thank you. What I told you when we were hanging out at BBCon, I said people need to know your story. Like, who are you? What have you gone through to build this company? Because they don't care about RentRedi, they care about you. Like what you've gone through to get to where you're at, and how obsessive you were to bring this to the table. And the fact that it's only $12 freaking dollars is the most crazy thing on the planet. Let's give it up for Ryan, please, everybody.
One of the most common questions I get is, what title company do I use? What title company am I using in Arizona, Atlanta, California, Texas, whatever? The answer for many years was a different title company in every state, because not every state handles transactions the same way. Now, the answer is one title company. It's Creative Title and Escrow. Go to getcreativetitle.com/podcast. You can learn how they will do SubTo deals, seller finance deals, cash transactions, gator deals, double close, transactional lending, whatever, even novation agreements. There's really nothing that Creative Title and Escrow can't do. To learn how brand new investors are using Creative Title all the way up to the biggest players in the industry, head over to getcreativetitle.com/podcast.